everybody, Cinema Sickness here with this week's Weekly Watch, where we take a look at all the titles I watched throughout the week, and I talk to you a bit about them. So let's take a look at everything I checked out. So before we get right into it, I do want to say that, once again, I didn't watch nearly as many titles this week as I usually do. So I won't have as much to talk to you about as I usually do, and the reason for that being is because I am still working my way through Friends, want to finish up the series, and some evenings this week, instead of watching a movie, I decided to sit down and watch a few more episodes of Friends. I am just trying to work my way through the series. I'm very close to being done, so just trying to finish that up. So just like last week, I was watching seasons of Friends. This week, I was doing that as well. So I do have 2 seasons of Friends to actually talk to you about this week. I did watch more than usual, and I do still have a few movies to talk about, so you don't have to worry about that. But first things first, we'll talk about the 2 seasons of Friends I watched. So the 2 seasons of Friends I watched this week were Season 7 and Season 8. 2 more fantastic seasons of Friends. Season 7 really revolves around Monica and Chandler getting married, getting prepared for that. And then, of course, we have the last episode where they do get married, but that's not the most exciting part. And a bit of a spoiler here, if you haven't seen the season, I'm going to spoil the ending for you, but it's a fantastic cliffhanger. I want to talk about it, and that is Rachel's pregnant. We spend the beginning of the episode thinking that Monica's pregnant, only to find out and that's not the case. It's Rachel. We don't know who the father is. We don't know what's going on. It just ends, and man, does it ever make you want to jump right into Season 8, which I did. As soon as I watched the last episode of Season 7, I popped in Season 8 because I wanted to see where the story was going. I couldn't believe that Rachel was pregnant. My jaw was on the ground. I was completely shocked by that, and I wanted to see what was going to happen. So, of course, we do find out who the father is in Season 8, and again, spoiler here, it's Ross. And if you don't see that coming, I don't know how you can't... If you've been watching Friends since Season 1, you're gonna see it coming. But even though in the back of my head I knew, okay, it's probably Ross, I was still both shocked and really excited all at the same time when I found out it was his kid, because everybody wants to see Ross and Rachel get married and be together, just be a happy couple, spend the rest of their lives together. It's what everybody wants to see. And now they're gonna have a kid together. How are things going to work out? And of course, like always, they're playing a stupid game of cat and mouse. They're being really childish, just like always, where you know they still love each other, but they're too stubborn, too childish to really say anything to one another. Each one thinks the other one doesn't love them, but really they do love each other. But again, they're just too childish to say anything. All one person would have to do is say, I love you, and boom, they'd be together. But again, they're way too childish and way too stubborn to do that. So, of course, we don't have them falling in love yet. There's a great episode and a great little subplot story in this season of Joey falling in love with Rachel, which is great. Absolutely love that story because he falls madly in love with her, but he doesn't want to tell Ross because he's afraid Ross is going to get mad, and he doesn't know if he can tell her, and he's all kind of like freaked out by it. The only negative thing is I think they kind of end it too soon. He falls in love with her, and then they kind of end it, and they kind of just dwindle it off that he basically is no longer in love with her. I think they could have drug it along a bit more, or brought it up a bit more in episodes afterwards. They do bring it up throughout the season, but I don't think frequently enough. I think that story could have been drawn out a bit more, could have made things a bit more exciting, I thought anyway. But it was a great little story that lasts a few episodes in this season. But again, we have another fantastic cliffhanger, which made me, again, want to go right into Season 9. And I am actually watching Season 9 right now. This is one of those things where as soon as I was done with the last episode of this, I went right into Season 9 because I had to see where things were going. And that is, Joey accidentally proposes to Rachel. He finds a ring that falls out of Ross's pocket. It was given to... it's his grandmother's old ring, given to him by mother. He had to put it in his pocket, falls out, Joey finds it. He's down on one knee, turns around, and of course, when he turns around, Rachel, lying in bed because she just had her baby, sees this and says, okay, let's do it. So he doesn't actually ask her, he doesn't actually say, will you marry me? But she just says yes right off the bat. Now, of course, what the hell is going to happen now? And I am watching Season 9, so I already kind of know what happens, but I won't spoil it yet. I'll talk about it in my next video. But again, 2 more fantastic seasons of Friends. I just love the hell out of this show. Can't believe I waited so long to get into this. It's brilliant. I love it. And these 2 seasons were great. Alright, so now let's get into the movies I checked out this week. And the first one I checked out was a weird one, and that was Heart Condition. Bob Hoskins, Denzel Washington. Bob Hoskins plays a horribly racist cop and constantly throwing out the N-word, constantly degrading black people. Very, very racist man. He's not a big fan of Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington's character, they kind of this thing going on. Well, Bob Hoskins ends up having a heart attack, and he needs a heart. And as it turns out, Denzel Washington's character had just died, so he gets his heart. So now he has a heart of a black man. He's kind of freaking out about that, doesn't like that, and he ends up seeing Denzel Washington's ghost walking around and talking to him. Kind of becomes this like Jiminy Cricket and tries to make him a better man, and he tries to lead Bob Hoskins into finding out who killed Denzel Washington. Just a ridiculous story. This is a pretty weird movie, but at the same time, it was kind of fun. I mean, I love Bob Hoskins. I've been a big fan of him ever since I was a little kid with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and of course Denzel Washington's just the man. So again, a really weird movie, but also kind of fun at the same time. It's sort of like a buddy cop movie, but not. I don't know. It's a really hard movie to describe. Not sure what genre to put this one in, but it's interesting. I can't necessarily say check it out. It's not something you need to see, but I'd say if you have interest in it, if you've maybe been thinking about checking it out, I would say see it. But be prepared for something weird, something just really strange, something just bizarre. You're going to watch this one and be scratching your head a lot with all the craziness that's just going on in this movie. It's a weird one, but I'd still recommend it. Then I checked out Oblivion. Now, this movie, I was kind of expecting more from. I got to admit, I had heard some really good reviews on this movie. That is until I mentioned that I was watching it. And then all of a sudden, everybody came out of the woodworks and started saying bad things about it. But I had heard good things about this movie. So going into it, I was expecting this great epic film. And instead, I just got, I'd say, a mediocre movie. It was good. I enjoyed the hell out of this. I thought it was a good movie. I loved watching it. I really enjoyed it. I'll probably watch it again sometime. It was an enjoyable movie, but it just wasn't quite to the level that I was expecting. I just would say it was just all right, but it's certainly worth a watch. I just don't want to lead you guys into thinking that it's some amazing masterpiece of a film. It's just not. It's just an okay science fiction film that is enjoyable, is worth a watch. I'd say it's even worth picking up, adding to your collection, but it's at least worth a rent. If you're thinking about checking it out, at least give it a rent, watch it. It's not going to bore you. It's not going to piss you off. You're not going to watch it and go, oh, that was a horrible film. No, you're going to watch it. You're going to enjoy it. You're probably going to like it. But in the end, you're not going to be blown away. You're not going to be like, oh, I got to watch it again. It was so good. Or I can't wait to check this movie out. You're not going to rant or rave about it. You're just going to go, all right, it was okay. That's basically the feeling you're going to have after watching this. But I would recommend checking it out. It has some great twists and turns. You kind of see them coming. I won't spoil them for you. I won't tell you where all the twists are, but you do kind of see it coming. The movie is cliched in some point. It's very it's a very cliched science fiction film. If you've seen a lot of other science fiction movies, you're going to kind of see things coming. As movie progresses, you're going to piece things together and say, okay, I kind of see where this movie's going. But still, a decent watch. I would recommend Oblivion. Some people were asking me what I thought about it. I thought it was good. It was an enjoyable science fiction movie. I say check it out. But like I said, it's nothing amazing. It is just, I say mediocre, but I'd say it's above mediocre. I don't want to make you guys think it's bad. It's not. It was an enjoyable film, and if you're thinking about checking it out, I would say definitely at least give it a rent. It was enjoyable. You'll get a kick out of it. And if you're thinking about picking it up, if you can get it for a good price, I'd say grab it. Alright, so then I say the most interesting for last. I do have some negative things to say about one of these movies. I actually watched two movies back-to-back, a movie and its sequel. One was pretty good. One was okay, the other one was just god-awful. And the first movie I checked out was Legally Blonde. I actually thought this was a decent movie. It's nothing great, but it was fun. I got a kick out of it. It was okay. It kind of feels like a Millennium Teens version of Clueless or something like that. It's Clueless for the Millennium Teen. And I say that because I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, and Clueless was my ditzy, dumb, blonde movie, whereas this was from 2001. So it's a ditzy, dumb, blonde movie that kind of has that same sort of Clueless kind of feeling, but just for a new generation. And all in all, it was a decent watch. I like the characters. I like the story. It's nothing great. It's just something to sit back and just take for what it is. It's a Legally Blonde movie. You're not seeing Citizen Kane here. You're getting a pretty goofy movie. But all in all, it actually was okay. I enjoyed it. I could see myself watching this one again sometime. I mean, no time in the near future, but maybe years and years and years down the line, I could see myself popping this one in again. It was enjoyable. I got a kick out of it. Again, it's nothing great. I wouldn't say you need to see it, but if you think about checking it out, I'd say it's at least worth a watch. However, I cannot say the same for Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. Holy shit, was this a mess of a film. I don't want to say high hopes for it, but I was at least thinking, okay, it's probably going to be at least as good as the first movie, or at least as enjoyable as the first movie. I had to go online, go to Wikipedia, and just double check to make sure that this movie was released in theaters. From the very first 10 minutes of this movie, I felt like I was watching either a made-for-TV movie or something just put directly to video. As it turns out, this was released in theaters, and I feel so bad for anybody who paid money to go see this. It was a complete train wreck from start to finish. The movie was a mess. There's so many things going on. The premise of the main plot of the movie is all about Reese Witherspoon's character. Because she became a lawyer in the first movie. Now she's this lawyer, and she's going basically it's kind of Legally Blonde goes to Washington, basically. So she goes off to Washington to pass this bill that bans animal testing because she was looking for the mother of her dog, and then we get this weird story where her dog turns out to be gay, which makes no sense because, okay, your dog's gay, but why is that in this movie? It's just this weird sub-story that doesn't go anywhere. It just seems like they were like, oh, it'd be funny if the dog was gay. Yeah, let's write that in. It was just a mess. There's just too many things going on. It doesn't stay on track. The movie keeps jumping all over the place with just things happening. It's just like somebody with ADD. You just decided to write a movie and just went, oh, let's do this, let's do that. Oh, and then this should happen. We said it would seem like this. It just didn't stay on track. And it was just such a horrible mess of a film. Like I said, it felt like a made-for-TV movie or a direct-to-DVD movie. It's just the way it was shot, the way it was written, the way it was edited, even the way it was acted. I don't know what happened to Reese Witherspoon between this movie and this movie. She acted fairly well in this movie. I mean, yeah, she's playing a ditzy dumb blonde, but she did a decent job. And this one, it doesn't come off right. It comes off really bad. She's doing a bad job playing a ditzy dumb blonde. How do you do that? Well, she succeeds in this movie. So I was just taken back by how bad this was. It was hard to watch. When I sit down and watch a movie, I always finish it. I never turn a movie off. But this one was difficult. About a half hour into it, I really wanted to just stop the movie and watch something else. But no, I finished it. It was a train wreck again. From start to finish, it's a horrible movie. I would not recommend this one at all. Like I said, Legally Blonde, an okay movie. I'd actually recommend it if you like chick flicks. If you just want to see something just for fun, check it out. But Legally Blonde 2, just stay far, far, far away. It's not worth your time. And yes, I do know there is a third movie. I think it's Legally Blondes. Reese Witherspoon presents Legally Blondes. I guess it's about twins or so. I don't even know what it's about. I will probably end up picking that up because I haven't completed this. I need to have all the movies within the series. So I got the first two. Gotta get the third one as well. Will I ever watch it? I might just for fun. I've kind of been on this kick over the last 2 years of watching just watching movies that I know are going to be absolutely horrible, but they're like the third or fourth movie in a series, and I'm like, let's just check it out and see how bad it is. So I might actually sit down and watch it when I pick it up just to see how absolutely god awful it is, and if it's anything like this one. Ugh. So anyway, the Legally Blonde movies. See the first one. Stay away from the second one. So there you go, guys. It's everything I checked out this week. Like I said, not nearly as much as I usually watch, but I am trying to work my way through the Friends series. Really want to get that finished. I just want to get it finished up because I want to watch, I want to finish off this Friends series. I want to watch season 1 of Joey because I do have that after I'm done Friends. And then by the time that's done, I'll be getting ready to go on vacation. So I really want to get all these seasons out of the way before I go on vacation, which is like in less than a month. So really need to get all these seasons out of the way. So that's why I've been watching episodes at night instead of movies at night for the past 2 weeks. But that should be coming to an end fairly soon. But anyway, guys, like usual, if you like this video, please give me a like. If you're not already subbed, please do. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my next video. See ya.